Guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Get Corporate Ready. In this video, we're going to be talking about how do you keep it professional within the working space, right? I'm going to be sharing with you 6 different tips that are really going to help you remain professional in the working environment and are really just going to help you be more mindful of what does it take to really come across professionally, to grow my career. And these things are going to be some of the most basic things, but if you get them wrong consistently, it really will set the wrong tone to how you start your job and how you present yourself in the working environment. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Bohlali Baile. I'm a young talent specialist and I use this platform to share all tips and tricks that really are going to help students, young professionals alike get corporate ready, right? We're talking about developing yourself. We're talking about setting yourself up for success in the corporate space. And if this is the kind of content that you want to be listening to on a weekly basis, make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button and putting on that notification bell so that you never miss a video that I post. One of the key things that I think is always important to speak about around how do you remain professional within the work environment is always making sure that you're on time, right? If the starting time at work is 7:30, get there before 7:30, not at 7:45, before 7:30. If the start time is 8 o'clock, make sure you're there at 8 o'clock, right? I think it's so important for you to learn to respect time when it comes to a professional setting. It's not a social gathering where you can pitch up an hour later or 30 minutes later. That doesn't fly within a corporate environment, guys. So as you start off your careers, it's so important for you to be time conscious. And that means really just thinking back to what time do I need to leave? How long is it going to take me to get to the office? You need to think about all of those things, right? We cannot continue to hear traffic as the reason why you're late on a daily basis. Once you see the traffic as a problem, you start leaving earlier so you can arrive on time, right? So arriving on time in the morning is absolutely important, and equally on time for your meetings is important. Now, this is something that becomes really difficult if you're someone that's in back-to-back meetings. And I think even now on an online platform, it becomes really difficult when you are in a meeting and you can see you've got only 2 minutes left and you can tell that this meeting is going to end in 10 minutes or more than that, right? How do you manage that when you are actually in a meeting? And I think the 2 things that I think are important for you to always be mindful of, or for you to start doing, is if you know you've got a hard deadline and by 10:30 you need to be moving on to the next meeting. As you come into the meeting and people are still greeting and being social, it's really important for you to make mention at that time that, guys, unfortunately I've got a hard deadline at 10:30 and we'll need to drop off because I've got an urgent meeting after this, right? So once you frame it like that before the meeting even starts, people know that you've got a hard deadline. And so when the time comes and it's 28 minutes past 10, it's absolutely okay for you then to type into a message, "Hi guys, unfortunately I'm going to have to drop off. Thank you for the meeting," or "I'll pick up on whatever I've missed out on from another colleague of yours," whatever the case may be. So you do that, and then at 29 minutes past, good to drop off, right? And if you haven't done that and you find yourself pressured for time, important for you to manage expectations, right? So if you're going to run late for the next meeting, make sure that you're popping an email to the participants or attendees of the next meeting to let them know, unfortunately, guys, running a few minutes over in my current meeting, I'll be 5 minutes late. And then that's how you manage the next meeting. The second thing that I think is important in really setting yourself up and staying professional within the working environment is always ensuring that you are someone that is a resource to the team that you work with, right? Don't be a liability to the team. You want people to want to work with you. You want people to enjoy working with you. And the best way that you can do that is ensuring that you become a resource to the team, right? And by a resource, what I mean is that you need to be the kind of person that is reliable, come across as someone that is professional, someone that takes their career seriously, someone that wants to add value, someone that wants to grow. You are also acting in a way that indicates that you're someone that is keen to be part of the team, that is keen to really add value to the work that the team is doing. Because of that, you'll start receiving a lot more opportunities for you to then start taking on more substantive work as you grow in your career. The third thing that I think is important, always dress professionally when you go into the working environment, right? I think it's so important, guys, that you do not see the working environment as an extension of your home, and therefore the way in which you dress at home cannot be acceptable for the way that you dress at work. I think if you want to be the kind of person that is taken seriously within your corporate career, that is taken seriously by your colleagues, but that is always ready for anything that may come up, any urgent meeting, any client meeting you need to dash to, you want to make sure that at any given point in time during that 9 to 5, you are dressed in a way that represents the company and that makes you look professional. I think a lot of us have gotten to a point where we get overly comfortable at work. We're constantly in flats. We're constantly wearing slightly baggy clothes. And not to say you need to be wearing tight clothes, but fitted clothes really give off a very professional look. And so it's important that the way that you dress at work is representative of the company and represents you as someone that really takes your career professionally. Now, what I've seen over the years is really that people that are dressed professionally always are people that senior stakeholders and senior managers really take seriously, right? Because you look like you take yourself seriously. So for people that are senior, they always love seeing juniors that are dressed professionally. They know that you're someone that's going to be reliable. They know that you're someone that they can take to a meeting at any given point in time. They know that if they want you to do a presentation quickly, that you are always ready for those kinds of opportunities at the workplace. So never be caught looking like the way that you look at home. It's always important that you present yourself in a particular manner, and particularly when you are in the office. Now, for a lot of us that are working from home, I think it's slightly different in the sense that when you know you're having an internal meeting and those are the types of meetings you're having consistently, yes, maybe look a bit smart casual, look put together, look like, you've woken up, taken a bath, taken care of your hair, and that you look decent, right? Internal meetings are a lot easier to get away looking a bit more casual when you're working from home. But if you know that you're speaking to anyone externally, suit up, look the part, dress the part as well. Because always remember that you're always an extension of your company and you always want to be someone that is taken seriously within your corporate career. So make sure that the way you dress is always representative of those two things. The other key thing that I think is important in really just helping you remain professional within your corporate career is really just showing respect for other people, right? Typically, we'll always work in a team in any environment that you go into. It's important that you show respect for people, right? And I don't just mean people that you report into. I mean even your fellow peers, people that are on the same level as you, but most importantly, even the way you treat people that are reporting into you, right? And this for me really just goes down to the basics. Even if it's people that are cleaning staff or people that are helping with serving you at a restaurant, whatever the case may be, it's important for you to be the kind of person that shows respect across the board. I've seen a few people come into the working environment and they only show respect to people more senior to them, and they don't care to show respect to their fellow peers, to people below them. And what this does is that it really isolates you as someone that people don't want to really associate with all the time, because you're someone that is really just seen as looking out for yourself, looking out for your own best interest. And when you work in a team environment, it's important for you to be one with your team. And it's important, therefore, for you then to show respect to people that you work with. And how do you show respect? You show respect by arriving on time. You show respect by communicating in a way that really shows the person that you've heard them, shows the person that you've taken what they've said into consideration as well. So it's just that interpersonal effectiveness. It really goes a long way in promoting you within your career, because if anyone senior asks anyone that you work with, tell me a bit about Bohlali. What do you think about her? Do you think she's someone that you love working with? You want people all around to really say positive things about you. So showing respect is absolutely important. Don't be selective around who you show respect to. You want to be the kind of person that people love working with. You want to be the kind of person that people speak well of, even in your absence. The next thing that I think is always key, really try by all means to avoid office politics, right? So in any environment, you'll find people that are unhappy about certain things that are happening in the company, people that always complain about particular things as well. And I think it's important for you that as you start your professional career, one piece of advice that was always given to me is stay out of the politics, right? Focus on why you are there. Ask yourself all the time, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I trying to attain, right? And once you start doing that, you'll realize that you don't have the time to be listening to office politics. You don't have the time to be engaging in gossip. And it's really something that is so important for you to get to grips with quite early in your professional career. And last but not least, never be afraid to ask questions. The worst thing that you can do for yourself in your corporate career is really give off the impression that you understand what someone has said, that you understand a particular instruction, and yet you actually don't, and you're just afraid of asking further questions. Now, it's important for you to note that as you ask questions, don't ask questions that you can research yourself, that you can find out yourself. It's important for you to be the kind of person that comes back and asks questions, but from an informed perspective. If you don't understand the instruction at that point in time, clarify the instruction, but don't come back and ask, okay, so how do I do point one, right? You said in point one that I need to set up a meeting between so-and-so and so-and-so. How do you want me to go about doing that? Do you want a Teams meeting? Do you want, like, those kinds of things you can figure out, right? What's going to work? Is it an external client? What do they use more of? Are they comfortable with Teams? Okay, they use Zoom. Great. Because of that, I'm going to find a slot that works for my internal team, that works for the external client, and I will set up that time and I'll put a Zoom link in there and make sure that all the parties involved receive the meeting request, right? So don't ask questions that are basic. Don't ask questions that you can't figure out yourself. Ask questions that matter in the sense that I don't fully understand the instruction, and therefore if I go off, I'm not going to be doing the right thing. Those are the kinds of questions that you need to be asking. But if it's things around the detail of how to go about doing stuff, become resourceful, right? Be proactive, take initiative, try different things, come back if you feel stuck, and then ask the question to say, listen, I'm feeling a bit stuck on how I then process this particular part of the instruction. This is what I've tried doing, right? I've already asked so-and-so about this particular element, and the only issue there was that it was going to not fall in line with part 3 of the instruction. Whatever the case may be, right? You need to show that you've gone out already, asked, inquired, did a bit of research, whatever it is. And when you come back and ask a question around the detail that needs to be done, then you are asking from an informed perspective, and you're giving examples of what you've already tried and reasons why those things are not things that you have proceeded with, right? So that's how you become a resource, guys. And I think it all starts with not being afraid to ask questions. Once you become a resource to the team that you are working with, guys, you then become indispensable, right? And once you become indispensable, people are really always looking out for you. People are looking out to give you opportunities. People consistently want to work with you because you're the type of person that takes their work seriously. Be the kind of person that really goes out of their way to ensure that people know that you are there to work, you're there to grow, you're there to learn. The more you do that, the more people want to work with you once again. So remember that everything that you do within a corporate space is reciprocal. So what you give into the corporate space and how you act during the time that you are at your workplace is really what you're going to get back within that working environment as well. So I really hope that these tips have really helped you guys. There's so many other aspects and nuances that I could go into. But these are really some of the core things that I think are important for you to always be mindful of.